I'm back again. That's FGP, episode 30, Change, featuring Lavish Reynolds. Yeah, in the house. Yeah. I wish I had the little
crowd goes wild, right?
I sure appreciate you taking time out of your day to spend a little time here and talk with me, because I realize the time is the most valuable asset we own, and
Absolutely.
You could have been anywhere, and I appreciate you for that.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, for sure. Fellagood Podcast brought to you by Goodfellas LLC, Goodfellas Gaming, and the Mike Podcast. Also, check out the Podcast Clubhouse on Facebook. It's a place where you can go and share and share and share. You can promote yourself and also promote others. It's only one rule: sharing is caring. You take one, give one, you take one. You give two, take two, and share it to the world. That being said, Lavish, how are you?
I'm good. I'm hanging in there, to be quite frank. Yeah, I'm alive, so I can't complain. I'm still here and able to, be productive and just, raise my kids.
Yep, that's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. Do you have any businesses or anything that you got going on right now that you want to represent or talk about?
Yes, always. I'm working on a few things. I'm getting ready to relaunch my second website. That's going to basically be just a website where people can look forward to things that I'm doing. They can hire me for speaking events. They can purchase some of my healing things that me and my daughter do for self-healing and self-discipline. I have a book that's getting ready to come out in the fall of this year. I am working on so many things. Just stay tuned. Follow me on Instagram at lavish_doing_me, and just stay tuned for everything. I have so much working on, and I'm just like, if you support and follow, you will learn something.
For sure.
So, I also have my lash line.
Okay.
Luxury lavish lashes.
Hey.
They're more for the natural women, for my 9-to-5 ladies that don't like the big drama lashes like me. And then I've started doing custom phone cases, designer phone cases.
Yeah, I couldn't see you or nothing, but now we good.
Okay.
What's the last thing you heard me say?
Nothing.
After your products and stuff?
Yeah, I ain't hear nothing after that.
Okay, so I said I'm gonna dive right in with the first question, Lavish. I wanted to ask you, what are your thoughts on the world now since your life has been changed and altered?
My thoughts on the world now was just really accountability. We need a lot of it. We need so much of it. It's detrimental to our kids' future. It's detrimental to our generations, our society, and our ancestors. Change starts with us. So by changing the way that we perceive things and holding people accountable can change the perception in which people view things. So for example, police killings. If there were more police accountability, then there would be less crime or less killings of African American people by police. If police had any repercussions as to when they kill an innocent bystander or an innocent person or innocent well-being, it should be not looked at in a negative light to protect the police, but to incriminate the persons or person in which of a matter that the police officer has harmed, like in my situation. So I just think that it needs to be more accountability People need to start educating themselves more about how these things are affecting our communities, how it's affecting our school systems, and just how we need to stand up and, let our voices be heard. Because like I said, change starts with us. We can't continue to fight and ask for white supremacy or white privilege to do something that we're not doing ourselves.
That's true.
So we have
That's a
to
fact.
change ourselves if we ever want to ask for accountability from white supremacists or white privilege or police.
Yeah, because I totally agree. Because accountability, right? Every time something happens, it's always end up being that person's fault. When
Exactly.
that happened with you, it's supposed to be your fault or his fault. It happened to him. In every case I hear, we've heard all, with George Floyd, it's his fault.
Yeah.
It's
They
his fault that man
incriminate the
killed him.
victims. They incriminate the victims, and they try to justify as to why whatever the situation was is why it happened. But that's not the facts.
No.
We have to think about how these cycles are constantly repeating themselves, and how every single time someone or something happens that is not in a looked at box of greatness, that it immediately goes left to negativity, hate. It goes to white supremacy covering up for who they are, and who they protect through the union, which is the police. The police are going around thinking that it's okay to do these things because, like I said, there is no accountability. Even with video cams, police dash cams, statements, cell phones, records, none of these things hold any weight against white supremacy.
Correct.
And it's unfortunate. It is. And that's why we have to continue to fight for justice. We have to keep fighting for what we believe in. And the more we come together, just like we did when George Floyd was killed, the more we make an impact on the world. If we do more of what we did when George Floyd was killed, then I promise you more of an impact will be made in the government, in the White House, everywhere. Because everyone sees things when it happens all together. No one sees just one group of people or one activist or one organization out there fighting. We need millions, even thousands of people out there to even make a little bit of an impact on the White House.
I totally agree. And speaking of George Floyd, I know you were very, very active. And I wanted you to speak on some of your, what I would call activism and involvement, and share some of your experiences with that situation with George Floyd.
Man, 2020 was one of those years where it started off like we didn't think that anything else could happen after all of the events that stringed before the George Floyd incident. It's unfortunate that the way that George Floyd was taken was looked at in a way that people was tired. They felt like they needed to stand up and demand justice. And as unfortunate as it was for George Floyd to lose his life, it affected billions, millions around the world.
Yes. So off a chain reaction, didn't it?
Yeah, it was absolutely a chain reaction. It was just horrifying to see and witness, knowing all of the incidents that had happened streaming up to George Floyd's killing. And it immediately affected me because it made me think about my own situation and how the media, how the police all get away with incriminating victims. How was George Floyd painted to be all of these things they say he was in the media, but he was not respected in his innocence as which he was born in. Anything he did in his life did not matter once he was being killed for no reason. Whether or not any reason they felt as though they needed to do what they did, there's always probable cause and precautionary measures to take prior to taking someone's life. And none of those tactics were practiced when the officers did what they did to Mr. Floyd.
Well, none of those measures were even, let's be honest, Lavish, none of those measures were practiced when in your situation as well.
Exactly. And that is my point. These officers, these PMTs, all these people, all these paramedics, all these people that work for protecting and serving are not doing just that. So it leaves generations of broken homes, generations of fatherless children, generations of abandonment, of emptiness, of people being taken by the police. It leaves so many cycles of brokenness that the police that are doing this, the white people, the white supremacy, the white privilege that are doing this, breaking our societies, are not feeling what we feel by going through what we went through. It's so unfortunate that George Floyd's innocence did not, to me, it didn't go up in vain, but to them, they felt as though a way because they incriminated him. They judged him. They lied on him. And it is so unfortunate that it took for the world to see that again on camera for them to even feel anything in their heart. Had that little girl wouldn't have never recorded that or had any strength to do that, we would have never even known what really happened to George Floyd.
And it happens so much. And I was just going to say, just thinking about it, back in the day, there was no phone, for people to just hit that record button. And now it gives it to you instantly for everyone to see, and like you said, it takes courage to do that.
I've been doing some research, and what I learned was when phones were discovered, it was way back in I can't even remember the exact time, but there was one pro-justice activist that did record a police slaying back in the 1900s or some stuff like that. So it's just everything that's happening now is a repeat from history. Everything that's going on now is what our ancestors and Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, Malcolm X, Emmett Till, all the people that have died for our rights to be African American.
Same shit, just in the newer age.
It's and same with the Bible. All of these things have been done already. These are just reenactments of everything that has happened, and we need to educate ourselves. We need to educate others. We need to stop depending on white supremacy, white privilege, the government to educate us. We need to do what our ancestors and our descents did to help us get here. We need to do the exact same things for our generation. We need to be out here advocating. We need to be out here on the front lines. We need to be out here getting these bills passed so that everything that we're doing can be favorable to minorities, can be favorable to African American descents, can be favorable to our children. The way that
generational wealth.
Exactly, generational wealth. The way that this world was built was invented and created by Blacks and Indians. And the white people came over and stole land from the Indians. They stole crops from the blacks. We invented combs, brushes, hair care products, right? Everything we invented that the white people took over. They took what we created and put their name on it. And now we're stuck to look for answers as to why. Don't look for answers in the white people. Look for answers within yourself. Educate yourself. We cannot keep depending on social media, the news, the newspaper. We cannot depend on anything that is not facts. If you want to know about why everything is going on the way it is today, why the police are killing us, why, you need to research what happened 100 years ago. You need to research what happened a decade, 2-3 decades before your time ago. Because if you educate yourself, then you will be prepared, not only physically, but mentally. Because when things like this happen, when people get killed, like such as my own incident, it takes away from everything. It stops you in your life. It stops you in your mental. It stops you in your growth. It stops you in your development. And ultimately, that's what they want. They want us to be stagnant in our growth so that we don't elevate and prosper, so that there won't be more of us, so that there can be more of them. They don't want our kids to become the next police officers and doctors and lawyers and any of that shit that they are, and they want their kids. They're gonna pass down generational wealth to their children, but they're gonna kill us off so that we can die and shorten off our generation so that we cannot pass that on to our children. They figure if they kill us, then our kids don't have the chances of becoming a lawyer or a doctor or a police officer. If they put in our head that all things are bad that we seek, then we will no longer seek those things, because we have already been brainwashed that that is what it is because of what they want us to believe. No, forget that. We're done just believing what the media tells us when someone gets killed. How George Floyd was killed was disgusting.
It was assassination.
It hurt my heart.
I said it was an assassination.
I've never seen a man killed in cold blood with their bare hands like that. They killed that man with their bare hands in cold blood. And the way he died, it haunts me, because that's another Black man taken away from his family. That's another Black man who doesn't get the opportunity to change. That's another Black man whose rights was taken away from him. That's another Black man who was statistically judged based on his past. That is another Black man who was innocent. That's another Black man who didn't deserve to die. And what happened to the officers at large? Well, they're still at large. There's no repercussions. There's no consequences. There is paid leaves. There's protection through the government. They're
kicking their feet up at the hotel with protection, National Guard from our wonderful Governor Tim Walz is protecting.
And I do not like Tim Walz. Can't stand him. We didn't have barbecues on his front lawn. We didn't have block parties in front of his house. We have called his phone and made him change his number 3 times. We have made him resign from his office where he was working, to the point where he has picked up his whole house and his whole office and relocated, because he has been harassed so much and so bad by our people because he is not doing his job. And it is unfortunate. Who's next? Who will be next? And I feel as though George Floyd's daughter, his family, my heart goes out to them. But as when anyone dies, unfortunately enough to say, it brings out the characters of all kinds of people. People who want fame, people who want clout, people who want money, people who thinks it's a photo op. You got white people coming to protest that think just by them being there that they're doing something, or think, oh, I feel bad that my grandma was racist for 35 plus years. Let me come to this protest. No. How you can help Black people is by having those uncomfortable conversations at your dinner table, talking about what they don't want you to talk about, educating them about Black history, educating them about slavery, educating them about what we went through to be here and how that's still going on and what we can do to change it.
Yes. Woo.
What happened to George should have never happened to George.
Never.
We should have never been out here protesting, looting. Not me, I didn't loot. I was quarantining, but protesting, looting, burning stuff down to get our point across. Minnesota set the bar so doggone high that the rest of the world looks to us to see what we're gonna do next before they get to moving. Even Washington, D.C. is paying attention to what Minnesota's going to do so that they can know how they're going to move. When the election was going on, they needed our vote. They needed us. They really, really needed us as much as they think that they don't need Mexicans and Somalians and descent and just different minorities that are not white supremacists or white privilege. It all affects the way that the police are handling us, are handling our kids. I was just pulled over the other day, and my daughter, as any kid that witnessed something at such a young age, will have triggers. And, you know, those triggers will cause, you know, different signs of emotion, PTSD, anxieties, everything, whatever. I was thinking I was getting pulled over for not having my seatbelt on. Well, they actually put me over for a broken tail light, a broken headlight. Instead of the officer giving me a ticket.
You heard that before, haven't you?
I have heard that before. And the thing about it is, I didn't even know that my light was out because I didn't know my light was out. I mean, I could hit it and it'll pop back on. So I didn't know that it was really not working. Besides the point. Instead of him giving me a ticket for not having a seatbelt on, for a broken light on my phone, whatever the case may have been, he first asked my daughter, was she okay? He asked her why she was crying. He told her everything was gonna be okay. He gave her a sense of comfort. And as he walked away, he said, I'm not gonna give you a ticket. I'm not here to give you a hard time. I'm here to educate you. I am here to give you a voucher for $250 to get your lights fixed. And I was so in disbelief that all these things that were wrong with my vehicle, my light, I was on the phone, no seatbelt, whatever. Once he ran my plates and figured out who I was, he must have felt something, some compassion, something in his heart. He could have been a prick and gave me a ticket, but he didn't. He gave me a voucher for $250 to get my light fixed. If we have more officers showing sympathy and empathy and accountability for not holding me responsible or accountable for my light being broken and penalizing me for that, but educating me, one, that my light was broken, comforting me and making me feel like he was okay for me to communicate with by making me feel safe. And thirdly, he presented something to me that could help me. If we had more of those protocols when people are being pulled over or if things go bad or people come with counterfeit money or whatever the case may be, if we had more protocol where people were actually using their brains before they actually pull out a gun to kill, then we would have a lot less police killings.
I agree.
And that was South St. Paul police. That's Dakota County Police. Everybody know that live in Minnesota that Dakota County Police is one of the worst. And if you do anything here, you going to Hastings. Nobody wants to go to Hastings. Nobody. So for him to come with that mind frame as he wanted to help me, he wanted to make me feel safe, and he wanted to provide me education about something that I didn't know, that made me feel secure. And I had to explain to my daughter, who went through something at 4 years old and now she's 9 years old, that all police are not bad. We cannot program ourselves to believe that just because there was a handful of bad seeds, that every fruit that was born or planted with those seeds are going to be bad. You might get about 20, 30, or 40 bad ones, but look at the thousands and thousands of crops and harvests that have planted beautifully with those same seeds. We cannot just assume that all police are going to kill us or hurt us every single time they pull us over. It's just like a dog. They can smell fear. They can smell nervousness. If we learn, us, Black people, minorities, descent, learn how to conduct ourselves in a manner that is intimidating them without raising our voice, without raising our eyebrows, without getting riled up, then that will make them feel some type of way. And they would have to go home at the end of the night and think about what they've done. And don't think for 1 second that Geronimo Yanez or the officer that killed George or the officers that killed Bree don't think about that shit every day or have to live with that for the rest of their life. You think those police don't have no remorse? Guess what? They got families. They got kids. They got grandmas and granddaughters and all aunties, uncles, and all that. So imagine if their family or their loved ones was taken away how our family and our loved ones was taken away. Do you think they'll just be sitting at home? You think they'll just be boo-hooing, crying, woo, woo, woo? No, they will be lawyered up, got lawyers on retainers, detainers. They got people, they know people. See, that's another thing Black people need to do. It ain't always about what you know, it's about who you know. And we need to educate ourselves to the point that we are so educated that if a police was to do anything to us, he would not win, no matter what. No matter what tricks and, what tampering with evidence or all the sneaky and grimy things that the police and the government do to cover their tracks. Black people need to have the same type of mind state. I'm not saying to manipulate the government in a way I am. I'm not saying finesse the police in a way I am, but I'm saying educate yourself so that you can be prepared for anything, just like they're prepared. They all stick together. The police, there's police I know that work in the police department that absolutely do not agree with anything that is going on, but they will not stand up for it. They will not speak on it. They will not say anything about it because they have so much to lose, because they are part of a union that everyone is supposed to protect each other. I have so many people from all walks of life, Congress people, police people, chiefs, lawyers, doctors, all type of people coming to me telling me that they don't agree with what's going on in the world, but there's nothing that they could do about it. And right there, I tell them, it's everything you can do about it. Self-education, self-preservation rules the nation. So I've been affected by George. Just simply, I felt like I had to go out more and be more active because when Phil died, a lot of my activistness was stripped from me. I didn't get to go out and protest for Phil. I was scared because my life was being threatened. I wasn't invited to a lot of the events and the things that they were having for Phil and Phil's era because of the family and the media and how everybody looked at me or painted me to be a bad person. So I just hope that moving forward, and told myself the very next time a Black man is killed by the police, I'm not going to let anyone stop me from letting my voice be heard. I'm not going to let anyone stop me from, speaking my experiences and trying to heal others that may have went through something that I went through. If I could help one person, then that makes me feel good. If I could help two people, that makes me feel great. But if I could help more than that by just telling my experiences and my story, then that's what I'm going to do. Because these things are affecting our children. It's affecting the way that we work. It's affecting the way that we love. It's affecting the way that we live. And ultimately, that's what they want. They want us to be so stagnant in our growth that we're staying still so that they can have an advantage over us.
That's perfect.
They have an advantage over George Floyd just because of the simple fact is no one still has been charged for his murder.
Yeah, nope, sure hasn't.
And I don't like to speak things into the universe because what we think and what we speak can come back to us. Like, people need to understand, once you think it, you've already put it in the universe. Once you said it, you've already asked for it to come to you. And I want to believe that he's going to get justice, but with all of the odds and everything that I've been seeing, I just know that they're not going to charge the officers. For my people to even see these officers shopping at the grocery store after this happened, like, why are you even out in public eye in plain clothes? Like, we ain't on that with you.
Like,
yeah, we know you the police.
Like what? Yeah, you see this, like what? Like,
why are you out at Cub Foods buying Oreo cookies? Oh, because you think shit sweet. But just know, anywhere that they go where they think they're not being watched or they think nobody knows, I don't care if you grow your beard, I don't care if you grow dreadlocks, I don't care if you dye your hair, I don't care if you gain weight, lose weight, I don't care if you bleach your skin like Michael Jackson, we're gonna know who you are. We're gonna find you. And we're gonna humiliate you. We're gonna embarrass you. And we're gonna make sure that you know that you're gonna be held accountable, whether it's through the streets or the system.
Flat out. 100.
George Floyd situation makes me so passionate. It just hurts my heart.
Yeah,
so
I know
dear.
You're very involved. I know you was out there helping a lot and doing a lot.
Yes, I really was just out there doing anything I can to help. Anytime I was asked to come and speak, anytime I was asked to come to a block party just to give my hugs, my love, anything.
Giving out food.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes.
Food, yep.
Yes. Backpacks, school supplies,
yep.
Just trying to provide that mental support and those resources.
It was really rough
families.
at that moment too. It was rough.
Yeah. It was really, yes, really. It really was. Even for me, I didn't come out of my house for weeks at a time. So, having a child and having needs and not having family or not having support will mentally drain you. So I had to refocus my energy and know that helping people is what helped me. That's my healing. So I just want everybody that's out there to know, like, never give up. Never stop believing in what you believe in. If you feel it in your heart that something's not right, 9 times out of 10, it's not right. Always go with your gut and always bring that phone out. I don't care if you being pulled over. I don't care if you being racially profiled at a store. I don't care if somebody accusing you of shoplifting. Always bring out that phone because you need to always have recollection and evidence of anything that people are saying against you, period.
Yeah, nowadays, yeah. Proof. Yep. Yeah, I agree. 100%. It's proof, Shit always happens to you and you ain't got no way to that beats to yours word versus theirs,
Yep, your word against theirs.
Yeah, that beats that. You pull out that phone. So, well, my next question was, and you kind of covered a little bit, but how is your daughter? And also, you have more than one kid now. You have another
I have
kid.
2 children now, so it's
Yeah.
so important for me to make sure that my youngest daughter knows about the history in which she was raised in and what happened before she was here. It's so important for me to speak to my kids about Black history. It's so important for me to raise them on core values and morals. It's so important for me to educate my kids and teach them that love yourself no matter what. My daughter, she is phenomenal. She is amazing. Like, she gives me strength. She tells me every day how amazing I am, how beautiful I am. She always talking about the haters, don't care what they say, and just she always saying some motivational stuff, but she's still a child at the same time. So she has her triggers as well. If she's getting bullied at school, she immediately relates that back to the police treating Black people some type of way, which makes her want to defend herself, her character. If she wears her hair natural, she gets made fun of that her hair is curly and it's shrunk up. But then that makes her go and tell people, you don't know what it's like to be Black. You don't understand culture. Like, my daughter has literally come home with a story from school every day to telling me how little kids, these are 4th and 5th graders, telling her how they don't believe in God. There's no such thing as this, or they don't believe in that. And it's because of their parents and how they are being raised. So it is my importance to make sure that Dayana knows about everything that's going on, and I don't keep wool over her eyes like a sheep so that she's blinded, so that when she gets over, she felt like she wasn't prepared for the world. Dayana's so strong, so talented. Sorry. She's so strong. She's so talented. She has so many dreams and so many goals in life that she just gives me the energy to get up and fight. She wants to donate to every homeless person she see on the corner. She said when we get rich, she just want to take random people off the street and give them a makeover, make them feel good, help them figure out what their goals are in life, and put them in a hotel for a day. She said she know that we can't help everybody and put them on their feet.
Mm-hmm.
She know that we can't help everybody and put them on their feet, but it would help the world to help at least one person every once in a while. And that gives me motivation every day to get up, write in my notebook what our goals are and how we're going to get to those goals, just so that we could be a blessing to others, like some people have been a blessing to us.
Mm.
So she's amazing.
Oh, that's wonderful, man. Especially, given everything. That's amazing. Just still to have that. That's good to hear. It's good to hear. It's good to hear she's
I'm really thankful that, she's in therapy. She sees a number of therapists. She does whatever she can for self-healing. But like I said, she has her triggers as well. So she's only 9. So she's doing as best as she can. She does have a business called Dazzling Day that we're getting ready to launch on our website as well. And basically what Dazzling Day is, it's an experience. So when you come to Dayana, not only is she going to make you feel good by talking to you, but she's going to help you remember her by selling something that she loves. So it's a kid accessories line, and she'll have everything for kids and small dogs. So baseball caps, backpacks, purses, accessories, a number of things. Like, she just sells everything. She'll sell you a dream if you let her.
That's amazing. So, how has your life changed since? And when I ask that, I'm talking about just life.
Life has definitely changed. My life has changed in a sense where before I could get a rinky-dink job at McDonald's. I could get a job at Burger King. I could get a job anywhere I wanted. When Phil died, I had 3 jobs. I worked full-time at a hotel, Embassy Suites. I was part-time at Family Dollar, and I was part-time at City Trend. So I had 3 jobs. Since Phil has died, no one would give me an opportunity or a job. I've looked over thousands of jobs, went over dozens of interviews. People have discriminated against me. People have judged me, thrown things in my face that they've heard or seen in the media. I haven't been able to really make a lot of relationships because everyone I've met have only used me for their own benefit or their own, whatever. Housing has been extremely hard. When Phil died, I had a 1-bedroom apartment that was my apartment. My name was on the lease. Phil just lived there and was getting mail there. I went to a shelter because I was homeless for quite some time before the incident. And when I finally got my apartment, Phil was always my friend. So no matter where I was in life, he was right there with me. I lived in a shelter up in Red Wing, and he would drive to Red Wing every weekend to give me some weed, give me some money, give me some food, and drive me where I needed to go, and then came back to, at the time he lived in Robbinsdale.
Okay.
So since then, I have not been able to find housing. Housing has been extremely hard for me. People have literally, you would think having money would just get you through the door. Like, here, take all this money and let me get a place. It does not work like that. If you don't meet the criteria, and even if you do meet the criteria, if you're working with people that feel like they know you prior to you knowing them, then they're gonna judge you. I just had a landlord, I'm looking for a new crib right now. I just had a landlord tell me in a text message, I saved it and everything, screenshot it and everything, told me, and I've never dealt with this man, had a conversation with this man, anything in my life. He told me because previous altercations and incidents that he will not be renting to me and that I should never again in life rent or try to rent from his rental agency. I'm like baffled. Like, what do you mean previous? I've never met with this man. I've never talked to this man. I've never dealt with this man in my life. But I'm just assuming because my business name is Diamond Reynolds and that is attached to a lot. Anybody know, once they hear that name, they know. They put a face to it. They know. Once they hear my voice, they know. People have literally judged me. I've had people tell me that they won't hire me for a job because if something goes wrong, they don't want me to live stream it. I've had housing tell me because they heard that I smoke weed that they don't want to give me an opportunity because their facility is a non-smoking environment. I mean, I've heard so much crap, and it's
what
very
gives people the right? What gives people the right?
White supremacy, white privilege, the government, the system, depression, oppression.
Agreed.
They feel as though because they have money and they
That's
have
them shunning you.
Exactly. And unfortunately, because I wasn't self-educated at the time, I allowed what those people thought of me. I put that weight on myself, and that discouraged me from moving forward. I've been working on so many projects since 2016. I would have had a clothing line be 4 years anniversary by now. But because I allowed what people thought of me to affect me, I literally gave up everything that I was doing because I cared too much about what people were saying, what they was thinking, who wasn't supporting me, instead of thinking about who's there for me, who supports me, who has my back. It just motivates me even and makes me go harder that much more that I feel like a rapper trying to get a record deal, and every single place I'm going to, they're telling me I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. And I know that I'm good enough. So that is only making me go back to the drawing board. What can I do to fix me? What can I do to do this? What can I do to do that? Just to be accepted by people and peers that I really don't give a F about, who don't support me anyways.
Right. Right.
So, I mean, I've really just been affected all the way around the board as far as housing, jobs, trying to make money. I've had people use my name for advertising, promoting. People have made thousands of dollars, even millions of dollars off of me. And I have yet to reap any benefits. People have used my voice, people have used my videos, people have hacked my social media accounts. I had so much fraudulent stuff done to me in the past 4 years that I literally don't know who to trust now. So like it has affected what has happened to me, George, Brianna, and all the people that has been killed after has not only affected the way that I live my life, but it has affected the way I deal with people.
Yeah. And it just don't stop. The shit
never
just,
ever
don't
stops.
stop.
Ever,
It
ever,
seemed
ever.
like the shit just went, motherfuckers put the pedal to the metal or something. Like from your situation, it just went off. It just a storm wave through the world. The dude Louisiana, what's his name? Bopham Jean sitting in his house, cop going the wrong house.
Boom.
The dude jogging. You know, just so much shit. I can't even name all of them.
It's so much. It's so
So
much. It's so many people. And
which
all
brings
of
me,
their incidences are justifiable. Justifiable is what they label those. Like in my incident, I am an active weed smoker. I'm not ashamed. I have PTSD. I have anxiety. I have depression. I have a lot of things. So I am I'm medically medicated. The officer that day, and this was a lie anyways. This wasn't even true because we never smoked in our car before doing anything that day. But because they found weed in our car, they later went on to say that we were high and we were stuttering, and they were he was alarmed by us, and he was scared, and he was fearful for his life. The fact that Phil's gun never showed at all, it was not visible at all whatsoever. You could not see it. You would not know it's there. Nothing. And that officer still took it upon himself to shoot not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, but 13 to 15 shots in a car with a woman and a child when there's no gun out or visible, just goes to show me that this world don't care about women. This world don't care about kids. This world is not what it's cracked up to be, because we live in a generation, in a society that protects people who hurt us. They will go and put a raper or a nigga that sell drugs in jail for forever with hardly no evidence, hardly no statements, hardly anything to go off of, but will put him away for a very long time, but wouldn't lock up a police officer that killed a man in plain day, cold blood, with evidence, videos, statements, pictures, dash cam. You have all of those things to go off of and still no accountability.
And there was a man here in Minnesota, this white man in Minnesota that raped like 5, he was a teacher or something. He raped like 5 kids or 7 kids. And he's out. He's 5 years. He got like 4 years probation. He's on sex offender. But you get a dude
same
with
like
weed.
With the Justine Damone case. Because a Somalian man killed a white woman, the white woman was awarded $5 million from Minnesota. Now, if a white man kills a black woman, then her family don't get shit but a bunch of lawyer fees. It's unfortunate. It's very
unprecedented. You know what they say? It's very unprecedented. That's that bullshit.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow. So, wow. Yeah. So, I wanted to ask you, do you think the trauma that you experienced and went through in your family, your daughter, do you think that gave you some form of PTSD?
Absolutely. I was not scared the way that I am to go outside, or I wasn't afraid of authority, or I wasn't not sure of a lot of things before this happening. Anytime a police officer get behind me, I get scared. I don't know why, I just do.
Triggered now. It's a trigger.
Yeah. It has this has allowed me to not be able to feel secure within my own self, because I have so many triggers that anytime I feel like something goes wrong, I'm going to be the blame. I'm going to get incriminated. The fact that I was arrested and apprehended when Phil got killed was also another problem for me, because you're causing me more trauma by arresting me after I just seen something so detrimental happen in front of me. I should have never been treated like
you should have never been put in back of that cop car, you and your daughter.
Yeah. Period. Yeah. Like, and even my daughter, she says every day to me, like, Mom, when they did that to us, they tried to put me in a different police car. I told them, no, you ain't putting me nowhere. I want to go with my mom. Don't, like, my daughter was screaming and hollering for those people.
Trying to put her in a different police car.
Yeah, they tried to separate us, but my daughter was screaming. Y'all didn't get to see that from the camera because the cameras was already off by then. But she was screaming and hollering, kicking, telling the police, no, I don't want to go with y'all. Put me in the same car with my mom. She was screaming, hollering. And then that's when she got in the car, once she finally got in the car. And then that's when y'all see the video of her saying, it's okay, Mommy, I'm right here with you and all that. So I've been doing things to help heal myself, to get the proper help that I need, but I still think it's a crock of bullshit, because the world wants you to go to therapy so that they can paint this picture of you. But why do I need therapy for y'all to see me as normal behind a situation that y'all created for me? Shouldn't y'all be going to therapy?
Yeah, they want to get you on some meds. That's what they want to do, hook you on some meds and get you I'm
not going for none of that. I already told them people, y'all not putting my daughter on no crazy medicine. Y'all ain't putting me on no medicine. We ain't taking none of that shit. Y'all not finna put us in the system on this black and white paper as if we have a problem. No, y'all not finna do that. If y'all want to do anything, y'all could give me some better weed. That's what you can do if you really want to help.
So, well, what changes have you personally seen since all this, COVID, all what we've been through to now?
Oh, well, I've seen a great amount of change, even from the Philando to the George Floyd thing. Personally, I feel like if they would have started burning shit up and looting and doing all this that they're doing now, when Phil got killed, that there wouldn't even be a George. There wouldn't even be a Breonna. There wouldn't even be any of these people. Had we made an example out of the system before this, then everything that happened after wouldn't have never happened. And that's just how I feel. I feel like changes had been made, but I feel like they were all made for the wrong reasons, because there's still no accountability being shown. There's still police killings going on. What I've seen is a bunch of laws, rules, new terms and conditions, things that have been moved around. And it's all it's all still to protect the police and the white supremacy and the white privileges.
Yeah.
I would like to, only change I've personally seen is with the people. I've seen my people going out at the governor's mansion, sitting down with mayors. I've seen my people going down, sitting with the congresswomen, trying to get laws changed to be favorable for Black people and minorities. I've seen my people step up and making sure that the community is getting all the essential needs and things that they need. I've seen my state give out so much free money during this time. I'm still trying to figure out where my stimulus check at. I mean, I've seen so many things that have moved in the right direction to change, but we have so much more work to do before we can even say any change has been made.
Yeah. I agree. I
don't really think there's a whole great lot of change that has been made.
No, like you
I
said,
just
things
feel
have
like
been modified. Things have been modified here and there, here and there. Shift of power, White House, everything's shifting over, moving around, new agendas, updating.
Yeah, that's it. That's all.
You know,
a lot of modifications going on. No, not really any changes.
No.
I mean, change starts with us. So only thing I could say is the only change that I've seen is in my character, my work deliverance, what I'm doing, what I'm standing